Hi everyone, welcome to SiGMA TV. My name is Charity and joining me today is Alessandro Pizzolotto. He is the co-founder of STM Gaming, which is a certified company of B2Bet.
Hi Charity, how are you today? Nice to be here with you.
Thanks for joining us today.
My pleasure.
Can you tell us a little bit about your background, what you are doing in the gaming?
Well, I've been in the gaming industry for, I would say, 15 years. I started as a professional poker player back in the days, and then I went on doing affiliation in Italy mostly, focusing on poker. And then from there, we had this opportunity to open a company that was focusing in Africa, and we became a B2Bet certified partner. And here we are today.
Good. So you are focusing now, you're moving to Africa. And as you know, Africa has over about 54 countries. So in this case, you're from Europe. I suppose you're from Italy,
Yeah,
right?
I'm Italian, yes.
Going to Africa, you have different cultures, you have different languages, you have different rules, regulations when it comes to gaming. Now, how would you adapt, modify your product to fit each market? In gaming, how would you modify your product to fit the African?
It's a very good question. Obviously, we're lucky because we have B2Bet expertise and team of developers. And the idea why we both came together is because we could have, a global product and with a local approach, because obviously us being there, we managed to take the B2Bet software and trying to adapt it to the different, for the different country. Obviously, it's not easy because, as you say before, Africa is not one country. There are 50 plus countries, and if you go to Nigeria and then you go to Kenya and then you go to South Africa, you see things in a completely different perspective. So it's been a process. We've been at it for over 2 years, and now I would say that we got to a stage where we're happy where we are, because we managed to integrate all the local payments. We managed to integrate all the local management system that needs in place to to comply to the local regulator. So yeah, it's been a long process, but I mean the advantage of having a global platform and a local approach is what got us there, compared to local platforms that don't have the same development team or don't have the same global expertise.
Okay, so Africa. So when it comes to, we have problem. I'm from Africa, by the way. So we have problem when it comes to payment, betting payments online, and so. Is it because there is like weak regulatory policies in different parts of Africa? Is that why there is like problems to pay online?
I think that it's not in per se that there are problems. It's that people are used to go in the shop and bet in the shop. So before COVID, 80% plus of the bets were coming from shops. Then obviously there are some country like South Africa, which things are a bit different, or Kenya, which online purchases in general are much higher than the rest of Africa. But if you look at Nigeria, for example, only 20-something% of people made an online transaction in their life. So they used to go in shops and pay in cash. They used to go in retail and pay with cash. So I think there's more of a process of growing, and it is happening. During COVID, we have seen online transaction growing at a very important rate, because obviously with everything shut down, people had to go online, okay? And obviously, as you are well aware, trust is a massive issue in Africa.
Yeah.
People go in a shop and they pay and they trust the guy on the other side of the counter, where online they don't know who is on the other side of the counter. So there's also a reason. But I mean, I've seen that process happening I'm not super young, I'm 40, so I've seen that process happening in Europe. When I was 20, online transactions were so much less than they are now, because obviously people adapt to it, they get used to it. So I believe that today payment is still an issue, even though we've seen a spike in online transaction the last 6 months, obviously because of the lockdown.
Yeah.
And I think that we're gonna carry on this trend. So what has been happening, the changes that's been happening, will keep going after COVID, because people realize that, you know, it's nice to play from your home, from your mobile, instead of having to go in a shop and, you know, and share the place with people, and, you know.
It's a bit safer too.
Exactly. So I believe that we will see this trend keep growing up.
Okay, good. So B2Bet together with STM Gaming are considered as the getaway for operators. Now, why would you like to go that way, like to go Africa?
Well, I would say that, as we said at the beginning, going to Africa is not like opening another operation in Europe, because the culture, the language, the way of life is completely different. So you need to have a local approach. And most of the platforms that are in the market at the moment are local platforms, which might be good for a specific country, but doesn't have the possibility to adapt and grow like we can do, because the benefit of this partnership is that B2Bet has a global presence. I mean, they're present in many different continents, and the massive potential to develop new feature, to adapt to local markets. So once we decided to go into Africa a couple of years ago, they changed the platform to adapt it, and we keep changing. I mean, we release a new retail solution. We keep adding payment solution to fit certain market, because as you know, Nigeria, you need certain specific payment solution. Kenya and the rest of East Africa is mostly mobile money. It's not like in Europe where you have Natalia, you have Skrill, you have credit card, Visa, MasterCard. You're pretty much covered everywhere. So if Visa, MasterCard doesn't work in Africa, or if they work, is only for a certain elite kind of population. So you need to adapt. And I see a lot of our competitors that try to come in the market, and they have a very good platform, but it just doesn't fit what the market asks. The market is sheer volume, very low amount per bet, extremely high volume. You need to cater for that. You need to have a system that allow you to manage this kind of volume, and that's what we've done. We learned it, we've done that. So that's the reason why I believe today we are the best solution for the market, together with B2Bet, of course.
So as you know, EU market, when it comes to gaming, is really saturated. Operators are now, because of this, operators are looking to get out to find new markets. However, in Africa market, gaming is still low. Do you see this as a potential place for operators to go and set up business in Africa?
Yes, definitely. I think this is the right time to do it. At the moment, I think that the total GGR generated in Africa is about 1% of the global. Obviously, that's also because average GDP in Africa is lower than, let's say, Europe or America, where gaming is still very new, but their GGR compared to the global GGR their impact is much higher. But I believe that the demographic of Africa, which is, you know, mostly young people, 18 to 45, and the strategic position that the continent has, will be a very good place to start a business, because in the next 10 years, all the study shows that gaming will keep growing, GDP will keep growing, and with that, the amount of money that people can spend on gaming will keep growing. So I believe that if today you have to set up a business, Africa is probably the most interesting country, the most interesting continent, because there are so many different countries where you can enter with, I would say, without having the same regulation and the same, exactly, the same problem that you have in Europe. But at the same time, there are regulations in place, there are guidelines in place, and you're safe. It's not, sometimes I feel that European operators perceive Africa like a place where we are not sure how it's going to go in the next 5 years. Our regulation will change. But I think that we're past that, especially in the big countries like Kenya, Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa. South Africa is very strict, so
okay.
I would say South Africa is similar to European in terms of you need to have so many papers done to start working there. But in the sub-Saharan area, Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, Nigeria, of course, Ghana, they all have a strong framework where you can actually invest, and in 5 years you're gonna have a very good operation if you do things right. So I believe that the experience that people has in the European market applied to the African market would be a win. And in fact, we're seeing a lot of big company coming in.
Okay. So this is a personal question for me. So I want to learn, since you have a vast knowledge in gaming. So what is a white label software?
Well, it's an approach that basically allow you to start an operation with a lower amount of cost because you get the software and the license and everything from the same provider. What we do in Africa is a bit different because obviously in Africa it's not like in Europe where you can have, I don't know, a license and you can have several sites on that license. In Africa, all around Africa, you have one license and one brand connected to that. So the idea with B2B that we came up is of this certified partner where we created let's see it as a box, where in that box we put everything inside. We put the platform, the sportbook, the feed, the payment solution, and we give you a system that is ready to go, but is highly personalizable for your needs. So it's not like a copy-paste of another system. We create a personalized solution for you, but is less personalized than if you go directly with B2Bet, of course, because we need to keep obviously the cost at a different level. The African market, you have a lot of operators, and most of them has smaller amount of turnover or GGR compared to what an average size operator does in Europe. So for that reason, we needed to balance our offer, and I believe that the certification that we got from B2Bet and this turnkey approach that we have in Africa is the winning solution, and it's proving to be the winning solution.
Well, thank you for joining us today. That's all we got time for, and I hope to see you. And I know that you're going to Africa now.
Yeah, I'm moving to Mauritius.
Sounds really good. I hope to visit.
Thank you, Charity, for your time, and thank you for your question.
Thank you.
Bye.